Uh, oh, no. Hello, my lovely butterfly. Welcome to Butterfly Dreams. I am Stephanie, and today I am going to share with you how I redecorated my craft room for that dopamine decor aesthetic. And if you want to know how I did it, stay tuned. All right, well, I know I just recently uploaded a craft room video, but after looking at the video, I felt that I needed to give it a little bit more personality and color because it was looking a little bit drab and lackluster. So I did serious damage control and I used just what I had. I didn't want to spend money and I wanted mostly to use my creativity to make my craft room more fun and full of color. So I'm going to try to go through most of the things that I did. Um, it might be a long video, so get comfy, get cozy, and just enjoy. All right, let's talk about this weird cutout that I have. This is a sunroom. It was an added feature in the house I rent here. I'm not really sure what this is intended for, as there really is no utility purpose. I thought it was like some sort of cute little, it had some cute little lighting or something, but it doesn't. So I'm not really sure. I should ask my landlord. But anyways, it has this I think, in my opinion, there's beautiful molding around it. Kind of looks like a picture frame. So I had two ideas I was swaying back and forth with. And originally, what I wanted to do, I've been wanting a pegboard for a really long time. And I thought this would be the perfect place to put it. I did my homework and I found that the cheapest place for pegboards is Home Depot. They have this really, I think it's 48 by 24 inches for about 12 bucks. I did look at the pegboard system at IKEA and it was far more expensive, especially considering that you have to buy all the extra pieces. So just FYI. Anyways, since I wanted to do the pegboard system and I figured it wasn't aligned with my idea of just trying to use whatever I had at home. So I went with the second best thing. I added this decal. I used my Cricut for it. It says Butterfly Dreams. I'm not sure if you can see. The bottom says atelier, which is just a fancy word for art studio. I thought it was super cute. And I figured I can use it as a dry erase board of sorts. I can write to-do lists, video ideas, and maybe even grocery lists. And I can just wipe it off. But also it can hold these canvases. So I figured it could be functional. And another thing would be I can switch out the artwork just to refresh the space. So this is what I'm doing for now. I think eventually I will get the pegboard that I want because it's just something I've always wanted. And it's super cheap, honestly. For 12 bucks, you can paint it to fit the aesthetic of your craft space, which I love. Anything customizable. So that's the story with that cutout there. And then on top of here, I added these two shelves. I love how they turned out. Those are from IKEA and I bought them in the as is section. I've seen them marketed for like children's books, children's rooms, but I've seen them in beauty rooms, craft rooms, kitchens. I will tell you though, a little secret. I did not use screws to hang them. I used this really powerful mounting tape by Scotch. And I know it works because I hung my doorbell with it on the really weird stucco wall that I have outside. And it rains a lot here and it's humid and it has held up pretty well. So I knew it would hold up there. And I just didn't feel like, honestly, I didn't feel like drilling holes in the wall. I just wanted to get this space settled so I could start creating. I know I'm not going to be putting anything too heavy. I don't even intend to put books on there. I just really wanted it for more of like decor and maybe in the future it probably will hold honestly more of my canvases. So that's that. But I want to show you what I did. I think I mentioned I bought them in the as is section. That's a little hack that I share with you. If you're a DIYer or a creative, I really highly encourage you to shop the as is section of IKEA or really any place, because you can always paint it, fix it slightly, maybe some scratches here or there. And these guys had scratches on them. They were a little bit dinged up, but I figured nothing I can't fix. So what I did here, if you see this pretty iridescent sheen it has, that's actually duct tape. And all I did was fit it to size and cut around it. And underneath is this beautiful drawer liner that I found at Marshall's years ago, and it came in a roll of several of them. And I just had remnants of it. I really love the pattern. It also has this very subtle, beautiful scent to it. But I love the pattern. All I did here was use double-sided tape and cut it to size, and voila. I really wanted it to be low effort, and I can switch it out whenever I feel like I need a refresh. So I love that. I love having options where I can switch it around depending on my mood, or if I want to give it a new life. So I love that. And in case you're wondering, that's my iPad, and yes, I use a children's case on my iPad. I really love it. It brings me joy. So there's that. I have this bulletin board that was in my office space. I have a little nook that has the things that I work with, like when I work from home. I like to divide my spaces. I don't want to work from home where, it's my happy place. I just want to have designated spaces for them. But anyways, I had this on the wall over there, and I've had it for a while. I just keep a couple of little notes there, just special little things. My son made this origami heart. It's definitely old and dingy, but I honestly feel like that kind of stuff gives it character. I'm very much into like that shabby chic, perfectly imperfect look. Right. Let's go into the shelf right here. So this shelf was in my daughter's room. I did go in there. They're both in college by now, so I guess that gives me free range to kind of scavenge their space and take what I want, right? Okay, but don't let them know. Don't let them know I did that. Anyway, so yeah, this shelf was in their room, and so I brought it here because I felt like I could make use of it. I think I got it at IKEA. I want to say it was around $20, honestly. Very simple, easy to put together. I have another one of these outside the kitchen, and I hold mugs, pretty cups and things. I just love to see the pops of colors of the pretty things I buy, the designs. I just feel like the items themselves serve as decor, which is kind of like the idea I had for this space. Up here, we see Mrs. Hello Kitty. I love her. And she was tucked away in my living room in a basket. I felt like she needed to come here to keep me company. These stackable shelves, I guess, or paper holders. Not sure what they're called, but you get the idea. Those are from Dollar Tree, and I just switched them around. They were somewhere else in my craft room, so I decided to bring them here. And all right, back to the shelf. So then the tiered tray I had in the kitchen, and I just brought some things from the shelf behind me here, like those canisters from Dollar Tree at the bottom. And they're just holding random things. Let me get a little closer so you can see. And then the canisters up top, those were stashed away. And then I ended up finding a bag full of colorful floss. I felt like it would give it another element of design and texture. And it's so pretty to look at. So I thought it was perfect. And so that bulletin board, it's a magnetic bulletin board, and it's all black. My boss was getting rid of it, and I was like, no, 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 we're not. And so I decided to bring it into my craft space, and all I did was that trick. I love to use double-sided tape to add some sort of paper design to something instead of painting. It's just an easier way, the lazy girl's way, to be honest. And that's what I did there, and I love how it turned out. The paper that you see there, it's just some wrapping paper that I had scraps of and just used it there. I didn't even have the right size. You can see like this sort of line going through. So yeah, then I decided to set my glue gun there. Well, one of my mini glue guns. It has a little cup holder, and I added some magnets that I had. Here is my work computer that I actually covered in vinyl. That's Dollar Tree vinyl, by the way, and it has held up pretty well. Very impressed. And the keyboard is from Five Below. I had it for a while. I just thought it was cute. The heart is from Target years ago, and it actually opens up so you can have like secret items in there. Oops. And then the third shelf is just a bunch of oddities, honestly. The little owl is a pincushion. Well, I'm using it as a pincushion, but this guy here, my daughter Luna made, and she is about to be 21 in a couple days. I cannot even believe it. But she made this when she was, I want to say like around 5 years old. She's always been a crafty gal herself, and she's actually studying art now. So we have very similar hobbies and affinities. And then here I have a basket full of, I think it's envelopes and things. That basket is from Dollar Tree. This is a bin from Dollar Tree where I'm stashing items I want to sell. This box was hidden somewhere and I just decided to bring it out because it's so pretty. And if you can see here, these are remnants of paper and scraps. And see, you can see that beautiful paper liner. I just have it stashed in a bag, and this was in a corner somewhere. I brought it out just so I could reach for it because I can use it for junk journaling. All right. All right, so this piece, I'm so proud of how this turned out. Um, this is, I'm trying to allow you to see it as best as possible, but this is the also coveted Alex drawers. A lot of influencers, like makeup influencers, crafters, have these drawers because they're just so handy, to be honest. Oops, I dropped something with my butt. They're just super handy, honestly. You can put a lot of knickknacks and boxes and little small things. That's what I was really needing here. I also took this from my daughter's room. Don't tell them. But yeah, I took this from my daughter's room. Let's talk about the chair first. I had it in my other little office nook, but I decided to bring it here instead. It's velvet, and the pillow is from Five Below. I had it in my bedroom. It has this beautiful pitaya motif. The blankie is from, I thrifted from Goodwill a while ago. I figured it was a great way to add more texture and femininity into the room because I feel like I had too many harsh lines and it just needed more of that feminine Stephanie flair, to be honest. So let's talk about the desk. I used, I love how it turned out, but I used Dollar Tree vinyl again here. And I did buy an SVG for like $5 from Etsy to get the template for these drawers, and I'm so thrilled with how they turned out, especially again because I can switch it out as I please and whenever I please. The Dollar Tree vinyl is very easily removable. I will tell you it's pretty thin compared to, Cricut vinyl or Oracal, but it works. Don't sleep on Dollar Tree vinyl. It actually works. I have a couple of rolls that I hadn't even really used, and so I decided to make use of them. But I personally like it. I don't even know if they still sell it because I haven't been in Dollar Tree in a long time, to be honest. But I wanted to share that little tip with you of how you can just add some pizzazz to your Alex drawers. And okay, let's go over what's on top of here. So of course I have my journal there. This is a piece that I made for Christmas years ago. I have like a Candyland sweets theme for the holidays, and between you and me, don't tell anyone, but I still have my tree up since last year. It brings me so much joy, and I figured, what the heck, no one's gonna tell me how to live my life. So do you, do whatever makes you happy. So yeah, my tree is happily up and has been up all year round. And anyway, so I made this decorative piece. I just love it. So I keep it out year round anyways because I love the colors. I feel like it's very Butterfly Dreams aesthetic. These are faux, what are these? Faux cake pops. At least my attempt at faux cake pops. I think they turned out cute. They have that handmade aesthetic. And then these are flowers that I picked up at Five Below years ago. And I just love that they have this iridescent sheen. And that's kind of like one of my favorite finishes. As you can tell, I have a lot of things that are kind of like that. So I love that. And I don't know, just looking at it, it just makes me feel fuzzy inside. So I decided to keep it here on my desk. This placemat, oh, so cute, by the way. Um, I am team Hello Kitty, but my Melody comes in as a close second. Who is your favorite Sanrio character? I know you probably have one, but anyway, so I got these in a set of 4 at Miniso. They have the most cutest Sanrio, like cutesy items, honestly. Don't go there too often because I could do serious damage, and so I don't go there a lot. But they have super cute stuff, and I'm glad that I have a local one at least. And so, okay, let's talk about this. This is a tumbler, a Starbucks tumbler that I had from years ago for one of their Valentine's Day collections, and it ended up chipping on a corner, so I decided to bring it in to use it to hold my Tombow markers, but also, and if you can see, like they fit perfectly in there. Also, to not throw this out and avoid it from going to landfill. Um, I love to do that. That's something that I highly recommend. Like, see if you can give old items a new life instead of, discarding them. That's what I did with the bulletin board because I think my boss was gonna throw it away, and I was like, no, 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 we're not. We're gonna give it a new life. um, I also love how the supplies themselves are useful, but they give another element of color. So if you want to add color to your space, just think about what you already have. Especially if you love color, you probably already have a lot of things in your life with lots of color. All right, so here, this is a mug that my mom gave me, so it's super special. I have it here. This is another beautiful mug. I love unicorns. That's my mild liners. These are my Stabilo. My colored pencils are in this other beautiful mug. It's heart-shaped, but you can't really see it there. And this is a votive holder. And I have here the small little things that I don't want to get lost in a bigger jar. So little scissors, little tweezers. And I really love how the sticky notes, it creates like this sort of sculpture, but it's also very colorful. And then again, another element of texture. I just thought it looked so adorable. Here are some of my planners and journals that I'm working in. This is my coffee. I just want to show you real quick. The beautiful little sweat because of my coffee, but this is a cute little coaster sculpture. It's also, the colors are very appealing to me. I got this in this little niche gift shop here in Wynwood, and I just fell in love with it. I had to have it. Oh, no. Okay, we're back. I ended up spilling my coffee. That actually happened. That actually happened. And that's just a testament of how clumsy I can be at times. Oh, yeah. My oh so beautiful post-it sculpture just completely got drenched in coffee. So, anyways, let's continue. Here you see my graduation picture, and this is just a symbol of tenacity, resilience, and that she se puede vibe. And I also love the pop of blue in the back. I think it complements my craft room so well. So I kept it here just to show me that I can and I will, because I just enrolled in college again to get my bachelor now this time around. So I'm supposed to be starting in the spring, and I'm excited but nervous to do it all again. But this picture will be a reminder of what is possible for me. And then we have this beautiful vase here. It's from Anthropology. I got that some time ago, and I vow to always keep fresh flowers. I think fresh flowers are just one of those life indulgences that I must have. I must have flowers always and always, just like Monet. Let's see. This is my sprocket. I ended up using some cold transfer to just give it more of a me vibe, and I love how it turned out. I love the sprocket in itself. It's such a great tool to have for journaling and crafting in general. I really love it. And then this cute little succulent here, she was drowning outside, and I decided to bring her in because it's been raining far too much here in South Florida. And the plate that you see her set on is a Dollar Tree plate, and underneath it says "Live Life in Full Bloom." I had gotten a full set, and I wasn't really using it for food per se, so I decided to use it here. And I love the little rim, a little edge, so pretty. So I figured it would just be another element of color. Uh, Let me go through the drawers for you. Hold on, let me figure out how I can put this mic. All right. The first drawer, I haven't really set them up yet, specifically how I would like them, because I just kind of threw everything in there for now. But up here, this one's probably going to stay like this. This is my journaling, art journaling, slash junk journaling supplies. And I don't think this has anything. No, but this is the duct tape that I used, by the way, in case you want to know. It's actually the Duck brand. And then this is the tape that I use for mounting it, for mounting the shelves. You can see here, it's called Extreme Mounting Tape. That's what I used. And if you can also see, I have another one of those. I think they're supposed to be placemats, but you can use it anywhere. And then here, I don't have anything. Neither do I have here. I think here I just put more junk journaling stuff. This first drawer makes me smile so much. I love it. Voila. Just love all the colors. It makes me feel so fuzzy inside. And then here, what do I have in here? I have just randomness, honestly. A lot of stuff that I have is usually things that I'm using for journaling. I'm always thinking about my journal and how I can incorporate different things that I want to try. So honestly, most of the stuff that I have is mostly for my journal. And here I have ink pads and stuff. Oh, I decided to keep these two drawers are boring to me, honestly. This is like a bunch of school supplies for my son. We realized that he has way too many supplies, and he probably has enough supplies for this in 3 more lives. So I told him I'm not buying him any more supplies for school. And then here I decided to put these bins from Dollar Tree, these containers. You know, I needed someplace to store them, and I'm glad that I have this now. So I'm planning to organize these drawers like more aesthetically pleasing, but for now that's working. And then here we have Monse, one of my Monseras. I said that weird, but one of my Monseras, and she was in the office, and I decided to bring her home with me because she wasn't thriving. So I'm trying to give her love. If you have any recommendations on how I can get her back to life, she's trying, but then she has these droopy leaves. So let me know. I do have 2 other ones that are thriving. Let me show you. Look at them. Look at these beauties. And I have another one on that corner. I love them so much. Oh, who would have thought? Who would have thought I would have ended up becoming a plant mom? And then she's sitting on another one of those Dollar Tree plates on top of my cardboard sculpture. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but I made this in school. It's supposed to be a heart-shaped either desk, like side table thing, or you can use it to sit. It's actually very sturdy. That was one of my projects. Here we have another uh, natural element. I brought this from outside. I have an idea. I want to hang a bunch of vines from that little ledge right there. I just want it to fall over, so I'm trying to get this to grow as long as possible. I'm going to propagate more so you can see that one over there as well. So I'm hoping my idea will work. And then my painting table, I just left it exactly how it was. It's my organized mess. Honestly, there's no point for me to even try to reorganize that because it will just be back at it as soon as I start painting. So for me, this is how I get inspired. Sometimes I'll just get an idea by just looking at all the colors hanging out together, and then I'll just come and work. So I do really enjoy having it like this. This works for me. And I talked about these carts in my last video, but they're from IKEA. I think they were around 15 bucks, and honestly, they are just magnificent. I love them, specifically to store my painting supplies. That's an old stool that I have had for years, and I tried painting it with it said multi-purpose paint on the bottle, but it's kind of peeling there, if you can see, but it's fine. It aligns with me. I'm so proud that I was able to go through that huge box that I had in my other video underneath the folding table, and I was able to get rid of the box altogether. I did sort through everything and I kept what I wanted to keep. Now I just have this box here that's for future Cricut projects that I intend to work on. I want to show you how I decided to bring out my sewing machine and just set it there so that I can use it. I want to use it specifically for paper crafting. So hopefully having it out will compel me to use it more because I really should be using it. So on this mat, so that it stays still, I decided to put my pom-poms in this canister that I had in the kitchen. I love, again, the texture and the colors just coming through. That is something that I made when I was doing my craft fairs in New Jersey, and so I would display things there. I figured it would come in handy in my craft room as well. So I still don't know yet what I'm going to do with it, but I'll do something with it eventually. This I guess rack, or I'm not sure what you would call it, but that I had gotten at a Target years ago, and I just set a bunch of these canisters from Target and IKEA on them with book rings. I don't know if you can tell, but right there. So I just have random things, more storage just in case I need in the future. Things I don't reach for often, but that need to be in here. And I did end up making this. Looks a little sideways, but I promise you it's not. It's just the angle that I'm at. I made that with my Cricut. I had that blackboard. I think I was going to make something for a teacher one year and I never got around to it. Oops. But I decided to bring it out. And it says, "Welcome to my happy place." So I love that. What else did I do here? Oh, let's talk about the streamers. Yeah, the streamers. I ended up taking out all of the vertical blinds. They were just falling off. I guess they're just too old. And they kept falling off and they were just annoying the life out of me. So I decided to do something. I wanted to do something different. Initially, I had thought ribbon, but I didn't want to spend too much. And honestly, even on Amazon, I didn't end up finding the colors that I would like in here. So I opted for the next best thing and hope that it would work. And it did. I just used regular party streamers to hang here. And it can slide nicely and everything. Like it works. So it feels like every day is a party in here, which is the vibe that I'm going for anyways. And if you see here this window cling, I'm going to insert a video of how it looks when the sun is shining through. And so I love that it gives off the most beautiful hues of a rainbow, and you can see it projected on the wall and the floor. I love that. I didn't want to close off this side though, because I do like, sorry for the dirty window, I need to clean that off, but I love being able to look into the garden, which by the way, I also made very colorful and beautiful. Let me know if you like to look at my garden. I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in, but I did do some DIYs out there and I made it more me. That piece that you see in the back, I found that on the side of the road and I brought it with me to set some plants there. So anyways, I like to be able to look out. This is where the sun rises. So I have the most beautiful view of the sky. When it rains, I usually see rainbows. Sometimes I see double rainbows. When the sun sets, I usually see hues of lavender, pink, and tangerine. So I love it. I see butterflies. I see beautiful birds here. I don't want to close this off altogether because then I miss out on that. But I am going to do something with, I'm going to put some decorative element on there, have some ideas. Here, I've showed you this corner before. I'll link other videos I have. But I do want to talk about, I don't know if I've ever discussed this piece specifically, where I have the scissors. I love it. It's from Dollar Tree. I think I got it when Dollar Tree was still $1, so it was so worth that $1. You can use it for your Cricut tools. You can use it for scissors like I have here, pens, all sorts of things. Honestly, it's a pretty sturdy little piece, and I just think I'm just so impressed by how useful it is, really. And this is my manual die cutting machine. I don't know if I've ever showed you, but do you see how I always add like some flair with just stickers or vinyl, just to give you ideas on how you can make things more customizable with just what you have, honestly. And let's see, what else do I want to show you? I think I've showed you all of this. Oh, that Lavazza uh espresso, that's my favorite espresso. I just decided to put a bunch of random pencils and pens um, in there that I really didn't have a special place for, and I like that. Again, going with the repurposing and using creativity to add new life to something that would end up in a landfill. So quite proud that I did that. Like back there you can see a canister for ice cream, which was delicious, by the way. Here I decided to put my wrapping papers inside this pink bin that I had just to give it its own home, or their own home. They're so beautiful to me, and the patterns are great, and they were just kind of tucked away in this little corner. So that again brings more color and fun into the craft room. And then the box there, it's just a box that I decoupaged. I love to do that. It's something that I've done for years. Like you could see another box there tucked away in the right corner. I have files in there. All I did was I took, I think it was a diapers box when my son was little, and I covered it in wrapping paper with, decoupage glue, and that's where I store some files. I want to talk to you a little bit about this bulletin board. I don't think I've ever explained this before, but this is just a regular cork bulletin board that, again, I use the wrapping paper on, and I believe I even used double-sided tape on here as well. But I've had this for years. It moved with me from when I was in New Jersey, and I hung these. I've never really seen them again. They're thumbtacks, and they have these little hooks on the end. I thought it would be perfect to just set across the bulletin board like I have here, and then hang just random supplies, especially my glue gun, because I reach for it so often. So you see I have various glue guns. They serve different purposes. Don't ask. And then a charger there, a lanyard from Go Wild. I even put a mirror there. So, it serves a purpose and it's also decorative. I love that. And I don't think there's anything else. Wait, I can't. I almost forgot two very important pieces. I didn't talk about my poster. It's printed on canvas, and this is me when I met my Latin pop idol. This is Liliana Saumet from Bomba Estéreo. Let me see. If you've ever heard that song that goes, "Do my love, do 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 my love," or that song that she made with Bad Bunny, where she sings, "Y solo mírame con esos ojitos lindos." Okay, I hope I didn't blast her eardrums, but I want you to know who she is. I went to her retreat last year, and I will never forget that retreat. It completely transformed my life. I was going through a really hard time healing from a breakup, and the retreat really did bring me back to life. And meeting her, like, come on. So I had to include this in my craft room again as a symbol of resilience and fun. And every time I look at it, I remember what a great time I had while at the retreat. So yeah, I had to talk about that. And then the last thing, so I believe I covered everything. Oh wait, I might have one more thing after this. But this beautiful chandelier, I had a bunch of faux flowers just hanging out in a box, in a bag. And I'm like, you know what? I need to do something with it. And so I decided to gather them in a bunch and then use a big old rubber band to hold them together snugly, and then a ribbon to hang from a hook that I just screwed into the ceiling. No power tools needed. Then I wrapped around some twinkle lights. They're on right now, actually. They're battery operated. And I have a chandelier right over my desk. How cute is that? Oh, and by the way, that Hello Kitty over there and that cutout, that goes into my kitchen. I don't think I've mentioned that before, but uh, I got her at Five Below, and she actually shoots out confetti, and she moves with a remote control. I saw it was the best 20 bucks I ever spent. I love that thing. I think it went viral if I'm not mistaken. But as soon as I saw her at Five Below, I was like, "You're coming home with me." And honestly, all of my butterfly dreams came true at that point. But I love her, and I actually have her on a lazy Susan, so when I'm doing dishes, I can turn her around, and she's facing the kitchen. So yeah. Here, just want to tell you, this is like a lot of stuff that was in that box that I sorted out. I had a lot of paper stacks, so I put them there. And then I used this bag from Alter State to stick more paper pads in there. I want to have workshops. Let me know if you're interested in ever coming to a workshop in my house. Like we'd have a crafty sesh, some journaling, you know, all the things. But where was I? All right, so I have also some canvases there, and then some that haven't been used and some that I've already done artwork in. So yeah, I don't think I showed you this last time, but it's just, very boring stuff. Just more just more scrap paper, scrap things that I want to use in future projects. Yeah. So nothing too interesting in there. And then there, I didn't really discuss the shelf last time, but it's just a lot of my painting supplies. As you can see, those are my spray paints. And then the other bins, I have a bunch of things that I had to buy for school, and I'm probably going to use them this time around. So I have them there. The shelf here I bought in IKEA for like 15 bucks, and it just has a bunch of these plastic bins. These are takeout bins. I think I've showed these in my other craft room videos, but those are takeout bins that I use to store beads and gems, and then more of those little pieces that I can't store any other way. I can stack them there. That came in handy. And I think this time we are done. I've already talked about these before. These are just stackable crates that I got from Joann's, and I just have like yarn. I have some of my Cricut stuff in one of them, sewing stuff. Um, yeah, so there's that. But yeah, I really love how it turned out. I'm so proud of my work. I'm so proud that I achieved what I was trying to achieve, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I gave you ideas. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Share it with a friend. And remember, fly free. I love you. Bye.